At this stage, I'm not aware of India having been asked to do anything. Clearly, President Trump has taken the lead in talking to the Russians about this. Until such time as a country like India is invited to be involved, I think we should just watch and wait. But I'm not in the government. I'm not privy to any private conversations that may or may not be happening. All I will say is that we have a very long record in peacekeeping. We've sent collectively in the last 75 years maybe 250,000 peacekeepers around the world, 49 operations, different parts, all far away from our country. So we have been available for constructive purposes of peace. But even then, it would all depend on what kind of agreement this is and what is required in policing it. I'm not saying that anybody would say yes just like that with a snap of the fingers. We would have to look at the details. And at this stage, I think we are, as far as I can tell, observing a process which is yet to play out.
Putin also spoke to they are looking into this infrastructure to be on the ceasefire extent. How big is this?
I think it's all speculation at this point. We really need to see what happens on the ground. There is a difference between a ceasefire and a peace settlement. There's a difference between a temporary cessation of hostilities and a long-term enduring settlement. We still don't know which way they're heading. Let's wait and watch.
Any comment on the virus on planet Earth after 9 months in space?
Well, look, I think it's a sense of relief we all have as human beings. No one has ever been that long stuck in space, and the fact that she's landed back on Earth is a matter of relief. She'll have to go through various medical tests and see how she's able to recover from this experience, because I'm told that such prolonged exposure to life in space can have an impact on everything from your bone density to your muscle mass to your blood, all sorts of features, and they'll be examining all that to see. But if all goes well, then we can rejoice that the world has learned something without planning to about how long human beings can endure in space and what the prospects are for extended stays in space and even possibly life in space. All of these are positive things. Obviously, the fact that she's a member of our diaspora, even though she wasn't born here or raised here, but she was somebody with a connection to our country, adds a special dimension of satisfaction at her successful return. Yeah, I think PM has taken a consistent position that the solution to this conflict has to come through diplomacy. In fact, you may remember his famous statement in Samarkand in front of President Putin, where he said this is not an era of war and that solutions have to be found peacefully. We do seem to be at the beginning of a peace process of some sort. We know that President Trump and President Putin have spoken. We don't know what the outcome is. A peace process is a more complicated issue than just two leaders talking. There would need to be, first of all, the parties have to be involved. The Ukrainians will have to have a seat at the table. The European Union and the European countries in the neighborhood, which have been very actively involved in the conflict, they will demand and legitimately expect a seat at the table. There may be countries that will be invited to come in from outside to help maintain a peace. That becomes the issue. Are we talking about a ceasefire? Are we talking about a peace settlement? Are we talking about something that's a long drawn-out process that ends in a durable solution? Or are we talking about an immediate ceasefire with a stalemate on the ground without resolving the larger? None of this is clear. And it seems to me that for us to sit here and start speculating is not a very useful exercise. All of these options are there, but ultimately the principal actors are the ones with the guns on the ground and those who supply those guns. Let's be very honest. They are the ones who can decide the pace of any peace and how far it goes. So let's wait and see what comes out.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.